Traveling can be one of the most exciting adventures, but when you're dealing with chronic pain, it can feel a bit overwhelming and intimidating. In this video, I'm going to share my top 5 game-changing tips to making travel not only possible, but enjoyable. So let's dive right in and make this your best and my best trip yet. The weather's nice, so let's go outside. Welcome back to Coffee with Jess. The 5 different things that we're going to talk about are obstacles, a kit, blocks, breaks, and distractions. Number 1, anticipate obstacles. A lot of times, if we have traveled before, we might know, for example, this is usually something that bothers me, those kind of things. But you can also see, okay, we're traveling whatever you know about your travel, however long your flight is, or your train ride, or your car ride, whatever. You know the details, and you look at those details and go, okay, what could possibly be an issue here? Personally, for example, I know I usually have a really difficult time when it comes to sitting for a long period of time in one position. That usually triggers pain flares and things like that in my pelvis area and my lower back. So anticipating obstacles and maybe thinking about ways that you could possibly handle them. I'm a big propagator for having your pain kit in order, depending on what you like and what works for you. I do have a video where I talk about my favorite top things for dealing with pain and for pain management. But when you're on the road or in the skies, it might not be easy to bring every single thing. Like, for example, I really love the massagey neck pillow thing that I have, but that needs to be plugged in, and I can't really do that when I'm out and about. So trying to figure out, okay, this is my custom travel kit. Like, usually I have a few things that I always bring with me. My TENS machine is one of them, because it is easy to pack and things like that. And the nice thing with the TENS machine is that because it's not a medication, I can use it over and over. I don't need to worry about, okay, how long was it since I took the last pill? Those kind of things. It's nice with non-medication pain relief once in a while. So TENS machine is number 1 that goes in my kit, my travel kit. Then of course medication. If you do have any specific medication, make sure that you pack it. Both of the kind that's for instant pain relief, if any of that helps. And of course, bring your long-term medicine as well. I usually make sure to have a pillow, a blanket, a stuffy. I love my stuffies with me because being comfortable is so important. There is nothing worse than when you're dealing with pain and you're already hurting and you're not comfortable. And specifically, if you've got the TENS machine and you're aiming to put the stickies on your lower back, maybe wear a t-shirt or a shirt and pants, like cozy pants or a skirt or something. But 2-piece is usually a smart way to go. At some point, I think it was this summer, I was traveling in a dress and I'm like, dude, I want to be putting the stickies on my lower back, and now I have to, make easy access. That's just smart. Heat pads, they have those the sticky kind of big Band-Aid things that heat up. Those can be really nice as well when you're traveling. If you can't, use an electric blanket or something like that, but you know that heat works well for you, get the travel pack things that they have. Also, snuggly socks. I love my snuggly socks when I am traveling. Compression gloves can be another thing, also super good to have when you're traveling in your travel kit. So separating the trip into time blocks is number 3. So time blocks, with that I mean, if you're going on a trip and you know that the car ride is going to be 8 hours, say, let's just say 8. Thinking, okay, I'm gonna go for a car ride for 8 hours. This is going to be really difficult. It's gonna be really painful. That can feel really overwhelming. So what I try to do is I try to break it up into smaller blocks. So for example, let's say 2-hour blocks. And I know that I'll be traveling for 2 hours, then I'm gonna schedule in a break. So that's number 4, breaks. Making sure that you have a block of time. That way you can be like, okay, I've got 45 minutes left of this block. And then just sort of celebrating that you got through that one, and then taking a break. And when you're doing breaks, sometimes it might be that you're stopping at the side of the road, you're going to the bathroom, you're having lunch, things like that. But Sometimes you don't always have the option of stopping as many times as maybe you would want to. So it could be good to just sort of have a mental plan for, okay, this is my break. Block number 1 or block number 2 is done now. Now I'm going to take a break. I'm going to do some stretching where I'm sitting, maybe change my position, because that can be a really, really big thing. I find that just switching up the area where you're sitting can help a lot. This is also where like the blanket, pillows, stuffy can come in hand to sort of like, okay, you know, I'll be a little bit more comfortable if I put my stuffy there and I put my blanket, you know, you can sort of adjust your comfort levels wherever you might need them. So that's one of the reasons that I like having those with me, and just making sure that when a new block starts, you sort of do a mini reset. Like, okay, I've had my break, I have my blocks. Distractions are super good, and it doesn't matter if you're a toddler or if you are a person dealing with chronic pain or if you are just, I don't know, pretty much everybody knows that when you are traveling, there's nothing worse than just sitting and wallowing in boredom. It's not fun. So make sure that you bring distractions. And I usually like to try to think like, okay, well, if I'm doing the blocks, then maybe I'll think like, okay, for the first block, I'm going to be listening to an audiobook, or I might be listening to an audiobook and knitting. Movement of any sort of kind is a positive thing when you are traveling, because it's that sitting still for a long period of time that kind of triggers pain and stiffness and achy joints. I think a lot of times we think of traveling as something passive, and yet everybody that's done it knows that when you're finally there, when you're at your destination, you're exhausted. So no, it's not a passive thing. Making sure that you are keeping your body moving, whether it be knitting or crocheting or whatever the heck you want to do, is a good thing. So distractions could be a good book to read, some kind of crafting kit, maybe coloring book or coloring things if you like painting or things like that. They have those little travel kits of watercolors that I am crazy about. They're so cute. Pen and paper, if you like writing, is a good thing. Or like downloading some videos and things like that from YouTube that don't necessarily need Wi-Fi if you're not in ready access to one of those. And of course, making sure that the things that you know you're gonna need, your little kit, your pain kit, your snacks. Snacks are a good one as well. Healthy snacks, of course. That they're easily available, that you can reach them where you're sitting and all of those things. That it's not like, oh my gosh, I have my things, they're back in the trunk under 1,000 other things. So that will be my suggestions for if you are going to be traveling and you know that you have to deal with pain. I'll see you guys for the vlog. Bye-bye.